this video, we're going to cover 5 mistakes apparel entrepreneurs make in their design and product development phase. First mistake is that you do not plan for collection consistency in colors and materials. You want to have a consistency in your collection. You want to have that red thread. Different buyers and shops, they buy differently. If you're going to sell your products on your website, thinking someone coming to your website, scrolling through your website, they needs to see consistency. They need to see products kind of matching together. Think merchandising. They should want to buy that top and that bottom and that dress together instead of saying, I want this or that. They should say, I want to buy this and that and that and more, because then they can stylize it together. They can put their own outfits together. It's cohesive, it's consistent. And also in terms of materials, because then if you're thinking consistently, you can use materials into more products, which is better for your minimum order quantities, of course.
And the second mistake that we're going to talk about is that we see brands, they use cheap materials and cheap workmanship, and they think no one will notice. And that might be true the first time around you buy something online, but the customers will notice if it's poor quality. The products are going to fall apart. They're going to see how they're made when they look inside of the products. Going to see what happens when they wash them. So if a customer gets the products that's cheaply made and just falls apart, they will not come back to you the second time around.
No, bad products will eventually kill your business. And I know this from a personal experience. I've bought things online, and the pictures online, it looked fantastic. The materials look rich. They look, super detailed. The detailed shots were fantastic. And then all of a sudden, when I opened the box and I received the product, it looked crap. They had a lot of loose thread ends all over. The material wasn't at all as what it looked like in the pictures. After washing it, it was all twisted. It was just crap product. And of course, I didn't go back to that brand to buy more products. And of course, I'm not going to talk about that brand to my friends, to my family. I will not recommend it. And you can bet that I did give them really bad recommendations. That's what happens. So do make sure that in your positioning and your price points, make sure that, of course, you do have your margins, but also that you're maximizing the quality of your materials and workmanship to create a quality products that people will, use many years to come, that will become their loved product, and not just, create a crappy product.
And if you want to be in business for the long run, then you should avoid this third mistake that we see too often. We see brands, they treat suppliers and manufacturers poorly just because they work for them. But if you're in it for the long run, you want to look at it as if you're in the same team. Work together with your partners, with your suppliers, with your manufacturers. Don't treat them with some bad cop, good cop mentality and tell them what to do and expect them to understand you. And honestly, in most cases, when we see things gone wrong with manufacturers, it's because of communication, and in most cases it's because of the brand. Have you really communicated clearly your expectations, your deadlines, what you wanted? Have you followed up and seen that they really understood it?
It's the relationship eventually. This is what it comes down to. Have you gone there? Have you visited them? Have you had dinner with the owners? Have you kind of gone and said hi to the sewers? Do they know that it's your products? Have you built a relationship, a proper, trustful, honest relationship with your suppliers? If not, then of course they're not going to prioritize you. If something happens, if your materials arrive late and all of a sudden your time frame is this short to actually create your bulk production, do you think they're going to do the extra work it takes?
No!
Maybe they're going to prioritize the other customer that they actually have a really good relationship with, that treats them with respect. That's who they're going to prioritize instead of you if you treat them like shit.
Also, if you're doing business in another country, have you respected their culture and way of doing business? You're actually doing business in their country when you're placing an order with them. So think about and read up and understand how things are done there and how you can make everything easier.
This is actually huge to actually whomever you're working with in whatever country, do Google do's and don'ts with working with businesses in China, do's and don'ts with working with businesses in Japan or in Portugal or in Sweden, because culture is huge and you can make some really big mistakes if you do not understand cultural barriers, so to say, or respect their culture. This can really screw up your business.
And this goes hand in hand with the next mistake, and that's expecting that manufacturers and partners, suppliers will just read between the lines and understand everything you expect. But it's in the end, it's up to you to double check everything. It's your business. You want to be in control. So make sure they've understood it from the beginning. Ask them questions. Did you understand this?
And also ask, have I missed anything? What other information do you need from me in order to create this product, in order to create this collection? Everything that you've sent out, all the documents, are they correct? Or are they, half-assed? You can't expect to send them a picture of, like a competitor product and for them to understand what product you want to create. You need to create tech packs. You need to give them bill of materials. You need to give them measurement list. You need to give them material suggestions. You need to give all this information. You need to give them in order for them to understand what it is that you want to make. And of course, it has to do, the more you do your research and you understand what you need to give them, the more respect they will give you and kind of the better communication it will be. But again, double check, triple check, ask, what else? Can you please confirm? Every single time you're communicating with them.
And also understanding which channel of communication works best. Just because you want to use email, maybe it's better for them to use the phone or some app today for communication. So make sure you find a channel that works between you.
At Designer, our design agency that we run parallel to Apparel Entrepreneurship, most of the suppliers and the manufacturers that we work with, they prefer WhatsApp. It's easy. Everybody has it in their phone. Quick, you can do, answer whenever the question, whenever. You don't have to wait for the emails. You don't have to wait for the kind of long. It's quick and easy. So ask them, what communication platforms do you prefer? What is the quickest way to move things forward?
The next mistake that we see is, if it's avoided, could get rid of so many headaches. During the product development, test and use your own products as much as possible. When you create the schedule, allow for time to test the products in the right environment. Because in so many cases, if you don't test it enough, when it comes out, then the customer is gonna experience what happens when you wash it. It happens to the color or the color of your product. But if you have tested it instead, you're the one gonna notice it and you can do something about it before you launch your products. And it's going to give us such a much better impression of your products and your brand.
So basically, you need to test the materials, you need to test the fit, you need to test the details. Does the cuff adjustment work as you intended it to? Are the pockets deep enough so when you put your phone, it doesn't fall out? Or are the sleeves too short? If you're doing, a bike jacket, are the sleeves too short? Or if you're doing a dress, is the hem too long? Is the waist too narrow? All these things, if you test your own products, of course, you should also always test on your target customer avatar, because they have their specific measurements, the specific heights, you need to test on them as well. But at the same time, if something is off when you put things on your own body and when you use things. That's why it helps if you are your own target customer.
So those were the mistakes when it comes to product development. If you haven't seen them, go and check out our videos when it comes to starting your brand, launching it, and when it comes to running your business. And make sure you subscribe so you get our next videos. And our next video is going to be about mistakes that you will see brands make when it comes to marketing and sales. See you.